You're listening to Popcorn Unscripted,
the podcast where we dive into movies and TV shows with no scripts, no filters, just real talk and plenty of popcorn.
I'm Bailey.
And I'm Dylan.
We're here to talk about everything we love
And love to hate.
in pop culture. So grab your popcorn,
Sit back.
and let's get this show started. Alrighty, Dylan. Episode 4, baby!
We're now no longer talking about Back to the Future.
Yeah, we're out of that. It's gone. It's old news.
So now we're talking about a recently new movie.
It came out...
Well, on the 4th of April.
Where'd you get 4th of April for? What?
That's where it said... That's when it says that it came out when I looked up it.
Oh, yeah, April 4th of this year.
Yeah, it came out this year on April 4th.
Yeah.
But a lot of theaters have not been playing it for some reason.
Yeah, so it wasn't until recently that it came out on digital as of recording this.
Which is also kind of odd. You figured it would be a lot more movies, but no. A lot of movies have not, or cinemas have not been playing it for some reason.
Yeah, it's like, for us, they had it, we have a Cinemark in, like, a town that's, like, an hour away from us, and then we have one...
Here in our town.
And then we have one here in our town, which is an AMC, but they had it, like, up on the app, like they were going to play it, but they never had any showtimes. And the same thing goes for the Cinemark that's, like, an hour from us. They had it the same way, so I didn't get to see it on the big screen.
Yeah, so Bailey's been fuming about that ever since.
I've been so upset, but I bought it for $15 off of YouTube, and I've watched it 4 times as of recording this.
You didn't tell me you had to buy it.
Yeah, I bought it. What do you mean? Of course I bought it.
I thought you could at least watch it with just for free, but with ads, like some of the other movies that have been coming out.
Not with a new release.
That's true.
I paid $15 for that sucker, and that's the best $15 I've spent on a movie.
That's true. I gave him too much credit for that.
I love this movie so much, but really, this movie just gives me an excuse to talk about Pedro Pascal, though.
So you can correlate it to one of those movies, but today we're talking about Freaky Tales.
Yes! The freakiest of the tales.
Which it definitely succeeded in that, honestly. It was definitely an odd movie, honestly. Which is kind of interesting way they did it, too. Mm-hmm. So this is going to lead into our first impressions of this film. Granted, Bailey's watched it 4 times, and that's also counting the time she watched it with me when I watched it the very first time.
Uh-huh.
So I've only watched it once, while she's watched it 4 times. I'm already tripping on my words.
Unscripted.
Yeah, no kidding. But let's go with our first question, and what was your initial reaction to Freaky Tales? Did it live up to your expectations?
Abso-freaking-lutely. It really did. I've been excited for the film since it had its first reveal at the Sundance Festival in 2024. That's when it actually first came, like, out to the world, was at the Sundance Festival.
Oh, gotcha.
I sounded so southern. Festival. But yeah.
When you get right down to it.
Yeah. So, I've been excited for this film for probably a good year then. For a good year. I've been excited for this. Not just because Pedro's in it, but it actually was a good idea. And it definitely lived up to my expectations. And I was smiling and laughing and making fun of people throughout the entire thing. So it was a fun joyride for me.
It was very interesting, honestly, on my first watch. But upon my first watch of it, it was a very interesting way they had gone about it, especially with the fact that it's broken up into 4 different stories, but all congregate at the end. Mm-hmm. So it was a very interesting way of doing that, honestly, especially with it being set in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so next question would be, how did the film's visual style and energy grab you from the start?
Oh, it grabbed me right from the start. From the poster. Have you seen the poster?
I actually have not.
I'll have to show you the poster. because
Grant, I only know the film because of you saying it, and
yeah,
Grant,
I know. He's only knows about it just because of me.
literally, I never heard this film until she had brought it up to me when we were going to see the Minecraft movie, and she was irritated because she couldn't find any showings whatsoever. Hence why we went to see the Minecraft movie instead.
Yeah, but I'll have to show you the poster, because the poster got me hooked immediately when they released the poster for the theatrical release of the film.
Gotcha.
Because it's very 80s, it's very retro. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna love this.
Does it almost get Stranger Things vibes?
I don't think so. No, it just gives off an 80s vibe. It just looks like a poster from the 80s to me.
Gotcha.
It has like the neon, and then it has your main characters looking badass, and then it's just, it just hooked me just from the movie poster in general.
I did say I didn't like one aspect for the visual styles, and the fact that it kept switching between the aspect ratios way too much.
See, I liked that. I thought that was a unique thing for it.
I will admit, it was a very unique way. It's just that it felt like it couldn't stick with one visual aspect ratio, because it kept switching between like this box format, then going back to full screen, and then going back to where there's bars on the bottom and top of the screen.
Wide
so it's
screen.
Like, yeah. So it's like it couldn't, in my opinion, it couldn't. It wouldn't stick to one aspect ratio and kept changing the way it was playing every so often.
Keeps you on your toes.
It kept me on my toes, yeah. But it felt like after I want to say the second one, then the second part of it, there was no more full screen whatsoever. It was only the widescreen aspect, and that's it.
Yeah.
But it only went back to the box aspect at the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
So... Of course, Bailey's giving me crap about one thing, because I saw a giant black dot in the top right corner every so often.
He's tripping, guys. He's tripping. I don't know what black dot he's talking about. If you guys have seen a black dot, let me know, because I'm pretty sure he's tripping.
If y'all want to watch the movie for yourselves, go watch it and then see who you agree with. If you don't see it, you agree with Bailey. It's a contest. See how many people... If you see in the comments of this episode, type 1 if you see no black dot, type 2 if you see a black dot.
Yeah, and then we'll tally up and then see who wins.
who wins. It'll be announced in the 5th episode.
I'm pretty sure he's tripping, because I would have noticed that after watching it four times.
I was about to say, because she looked at me crazy. It's like, I kept seeing it.
I did. I looked at him like he was a chicken with his head cut off.
Grant, I need to get my eyes checked, honestly. So it's probably one of those things that it was just happening because of something flickering in the corner of my eye or something. But yeah. I don't know. I had the windows open and everything, so that might have contributed.
Yeah, that's possible.
Well, not the windows themselves, but the blinds.
Yeah, the blinds are open.
All right. The next question is, what was the mix of punk rock, hip-hop, and crime a good fit for the film's tone?
It showed diversity very, very well, but it also showed how well all of it works together. And how, especially in the first chapter, where you have all these different people in this congregation, I guess you could call it, and they were all like partying and having a great time together, and they weren't letting race or their sexual orientation or anything get in the way of just having a good time.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
I did too. And it's like I was telling Dylan, I was like, I wish we had something like that growing up, but our town's not that cool.
Well, Grant, we ain't got jack crap here.
Yeah, we don't have anything like that here, and I honestly wish we did, because it would have been a good opportunity.
Yeah, all we got is bars and pool and bowling. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for around here.
Because then you gotta go to the next town, and there's still not much to offer for that.
Yeah.
So it's like we're very bare minimum of what we have to offer here at our town.
Yeah,
And anything new, you can understand it's very... I don't know how to put this. It's very like interesting when we do get something new, until we find out, oh, it's just another boring edition.
Yeah, it's just another thing.
Like a new parking deck.
Yeah.
Just to tear down the old one, replace it with a new one.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, our town is very dull in a way.
There's not much here.
We do have some stuff interesting that happen every so often, but it's very far and few between.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
So honestly, something like this would definitely be very beneficial to this little town.
It would.
Let's see, going on to the next way is the structures and how did the anthology format work for the film? Did it feel cohesive, or did the separate stories feel disconnected anyway?
I don't think they felt disconnected at all. I feel like they kind of flowed together really well, even though it was very subtle how they threaded all of the stories together.
But sorry, I was trying to make sure that my voice is getting picked up well enough with the mic. I keep moving my arm.
But I feel like it was subtle threading through, but it was subtle enough where it wasn't jarring at all. Yeah. In my opinion.
I did notice there was a lot of scenes that weren't in the previous part. Like, for example, the first one, it had a scene that was not in the third one, or the third one has a scene that was not in the first one.
Yes.
And that contributed later on in the fourth
chapter.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, while it does show different perspectives, it's also showing stuff that was not in the previous chapter.
Yeah. It's like providing more context as the film goes on.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool too. Let's see. For next question is, did you prefer one of the 4 interconnected stories over the others, and which one stood out the most and why?
You already know my answer to that question. You already know my answer to that question.
I was about to say, I don't even know why I'm asking this question. I already know where this is going.
Obviously, chapter 3 is the best one for me. Not because this is just an excuse for me to talk about Pedro Pascal's acting.
This is the only reason why this film was wanting to be watched.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, but chapter 3, I'm not even sure really where to go with it.
It is a very interesting chapter.
It's a very interesting chapter because if you haven't seen the film.
Grant, we're also trying not to spoil too much if you haven't, since it is a very recent film.
Go watch the film before you listen to any more of this, because I'm about to spoil the heck out of it.
Yeah, that's very true.
But with Pedro's character, he just lost his wife, thought he lost his kid at the beginning of the chapter. And so you go through this kind of like grieving process almost. So it's like... It's an interesting grieving process. So then you get the flashback to 24 hours previous, and to kind of show what happened to his wife, and to kind of show who his character is in all of this, which is very, very interesting to the story entirely, because you see that his character actually works for the Nazis, or used to work for the Nazis.
I was about to say, are we able to even say that?
Well... that's what they say in the movie, so...
Yes, it's what they say in the movie, but are we... I'm more curious, are we allowed to say this on Spotify? On Spotify's platform, that is.
Well...
That's a very good question.
That is a very good question, but...
Graham, we don't know fully of what we're allowed to say and what not to say, honestly. Graham, we're still new to this whole aspect of podcasting, especially on this platform.
Yeah.
Well, we've said stuff on Twitch and stuff due to streaming. We don't know what we're allowed to say fully in the concepts. Mm-hmm. We know we have to watch what we say along with what type of phrasing also. Mm-hmm. We just don't know...
We're still figuring it out.
What direct words we can say.
Yeah.
So we might leave that in, and we might not. We just need to figure out.
Yeah.
So if y'all see like weird cuts or something, and we're discussing something that's not in there... That's probably because we had to cut that part out because we couldn't have that.
Yeah.
So, as a little context, we're still new. So, we're going to be learning along with y'all, along with y'all learning about us. Mm-hmm. So, this is just a learning process.
Yeah. But, anyway, I'm going to say it anyway. But,
I was trying to beat around the bush with that, honestly. So, it's like, I'm glad you just came out right and said it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna come out right and say it. And if they want us to take it down, then we'll take it down. But
we'll do more research. But until then, we keep it in for just now.
Yeah.
Until we get like a claim or something.
Yeah, but anyway, but his character actually was like what would you call that? He was like a
I was thinking like a hitman.
For hire, like a hit, not really a hitman or a mercenary. Like I don't know what he's just a guy that roughs people up for other people to get their money.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that would be. But that's what he is. Because I always default to hitman or mercenary when it comes to those things. But yeah, he's not killing them.
Yeah.
Well,
he did kill that kid's dad, but I don't think, by the way that was played out, I don't think that was intentional. He was just trying to beat the guy, but I think he
went a little too far.
Went too far, and then he realized, like, you could see the shock on his face when he looked up and saw the kid after he's like, stop, you know?
Well, Grant, you also got to take into account, he probably didn't know the kid was there.
Yeah.
He was peeking out from behind the door, so he had no
That's
clue.
why he had that look of shock on his face. He was just like, oh my gosh, what have I done?
Yeah, especially with him also about to, close to having a kid, but then again, that was 7 years ago when that happened.
Yeah. So that was like, and that's why he said, like, I'm not the same man that killed your father. I'm not the same man I was back then.
Yeah.
And then the kid was just like, I don't care. And, you know, which I was just like, well, that's fair. That's fair.
Very fair.
That's fair. I was just like, he's just like, I don't care. You still did it.
Yeah. Let's see. How well do the stories blend together thematically? Did the use of the mysterious green glow tie them all together effectively?
Absolutely. That's actually the one thing I liked about it was the way they used the green lightning and the green glow.
I was very confused about that the entire time.
So the green lightning and the green glow is like the magic of Oakland. That's like the magic that they have.
Gotcha.
So,
because I was confused.
It's kind of hard to explain because I don't really understand it fully myself.
Because I noticed that when watching the very first part of it, it was green lightning, then it became the mic glowing, and then it became a tear glowing.
It's like they're using their internal power.
Yeah.
It's like an internal power that's being externalized.
Okay.
That's what that shows. That's what I think from what I'm understanding is that's how that is supposed to be perceived. It's like your internal stuff is being externalized, and then that's how you become, I don't know where I'm going with that.
Braver or something like that.
Yeah,
confidence boost or stuff like that.
Yeah, something
Granted,
like that.
the glow on the spike, that one I didn't understand. When she went to drive it into that dude's neck, I don't understand it there.
That was her power.
Okay.
Where she wanted to fight. She was the one that wanted to fight back. Yes. And that was her tool. So she put herself into that tool to fight back.
Okay, because I noticed it also glowed when it was still in the box before she even picked it up earlier when the dude had gave it to her. Mm-hmm. So I was confused about that part mainly. Mm-hmm. It's like it glowed there, but then it proceeds to glow right while she's driving into the dude's neck.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I think it glowed because it made like a connection with her.
Ah.
So it made that connection with her, and then she put it on.
Gotcha.
And so I think that's how that goes.
Alright, well, next one is, what do you think the film is trying to say about resilience and community?
That's actually a really good question. Now, community, it really shows how people come together just to fight off the Nazis.
Common goal.
Yeah, they had like a common goal and they had like a common ground. It's because it's like at the beginning of the film you see that little group there with the two girls, and they kind of like nod at each other as the Nazis had gone by, and they had both kind of like stood up for themselves. So it's like a mutual understanding.
Gotcha.
It's like these guys are an issue, and we have to work together to get rid of said issue.
Gotcha. So, like, kind of like how some villains will actually side with the heroes to beat another common villain.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, yeah.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
But the sense of community is very, very strong in this film. Because in the 80s, community was a very big thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very big thing. Especially if you've watched a lot of 80s movies, community is always a very big thing.
Especially, they're always at least a large group, or even a small group of people. Every single film, I've noticed, when it comes to the 80s.
Yeah, because you always have these places where you can go hang out. Which, in the film, that one place was Giant Burger, which was a restaurant where everybody can just go hang out and eat and, and just, do whatever. Well, not whatever, but...
You had some certain...
You had certain restrictions, but...
of course.
But, yeah. It was, like, their place.
A hangout, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, how does Freaky Tales explore the underdog spirit? Do the characters feel relatable in their struggles?
Absolutely. I feel, especially in the first chapter, I've related to those people quite a bit. Because you're always fighting these struggles, no matter what they are. But I did feel related to them because I always struggle to fight the things that always hold me back. And that's exactly what the Nazis were trying to do. They were, these guys had just built themselves up, and they had, their own place, and, and they were all hanging out, they were all fine, until this one thing came barreling in and just destroying everything. And then you have to figure out a way to build yourself up, and then if that thing were to come back, you would then have to fight that off.
Yeah.
I can imagine that a lot of people struggle with that, in all honesty. Because I know for me personally, that's one thing I struggle with. And then you have the two girls in the next chapter, how they're pretty much like sisters. They pretty much have that sisterly kind of bond. And then you have the scene where the guy comes into the ice cream shop, and then the freaking pervert of a man comes in to try to hit on this lady, and then I was
a very odd...
I wanted to punch that guy in the face.
Yeah, that was a very, very odd...
interaction.
Very odd.
And it was very awkward. And
it was actually very hard to watch.
It was. It was very hard to watch. But that is something that happened often.
Yeah.
It was something that happened so much.
But the way especially with the actor, the way he was talking, and granted, I know he was doing this because of the way he was told to do his tone of voice and everything. He made it so much more uncomfortable.
He did.
He did a very excellent job of making that scene uncomfortable.
Especially since his voice was just so monotone. There was no
There's no anger, there was no calmness. It was more so just so monotone, devoid of emotion.
Yeah. It was he didn't care.
Yeah, but he would show it for a split second and then go right back to being monotone. So his actor is very well done when it comes to doing that.
Yeah, I can agree. It was very disturbing to watch, that portion. And do keep in mind, this is a rated R movie.
Yes, this is rated R. So they had a lot more wiggle room when it comes to being able to do this theming.
Yeah.
Along with, especially with how gory it was and everything.
Oh, yeah. Which I think they did it that way because it's set in the 80s, so they kind of made it like in the 80s.
You kind of have to with gore when it comes to in the 80s, because they were obsessed with gore.
For some weird reason.
Well, I think it's because of the way that some movies have done it. But with the theming, I think it's because a lot of filming back then were very, on the nose and stuff like that, or outright bland, but none of them have really tackled when it came to horror in the way that the slasher genre gave birth to. Because let's face it, the slasher genre is what gave birth to how we have gore nowadays. And with or
even just horror in general.
Yeah, not to mention they were very lax when it came to the rating system back then. Heck, you can even get away with a lot of stuff now without having to be forced to have your film rated R or something. And it restricts so much of what creativity you can do. Back then, I think it's a lot easier to get these ratings and system because of what you were able to get away with and what you weren't able to get away with. Granted, this is back also when in the R movies you could get away with actually having sex, but it was you could only show portions of implying it.
Yeah.
You couldn't actually show it.
Yeah.
Well, probably being the TVMA rating.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you had very limited what you could get away with, but you still had a lot of wiggle room compared to now.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think they did a good job with the way they did it.
I think they did too. There wasn't like anything very sexual in the movie either, which
I think there wasn't any really, aside from
from too short in that one scene. But
honestly, I think they only got it from comments really, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
They really didn't imply anything other than that,
yeah.
like the old horror movies did.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't even want to call this a horror movie.
It's not a horror movie. It's an anthology movie.
Yeah. Grant, I've not watched a lot of those.
Well, this is my first time watching one like that too. So,
well, that works out.
But that's what I like about doing this podcast too, is that it will diversify what we watch. It's like we will watch things that we've never experienced before, and it will open our eyes to more than what we've seen growing up.
Yeah, so it's very interesting to see what all different movies can tackle along with different themings.
Mm-hmm. Genres,
themings, and just everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
So, in our next role, what role does the setting of the 1980s Oakland play in shaping the film's message? There it is. I couldn't think of the wording.
That's honestly a really good question, because I'm not really sure, because being from the South, it's not really something that I would understand living in a place like Oakland, California in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to kind of imagine what that would be like for somebody that has never experienced that, because the biggest city I've been to is New York.
But so we have no.
And so I've never been anywhere west as far as Mississippi.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. The farthest I haven't even gone anywhere near west really, aside from Mississippi, and that's it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I pretty much go straight up in the United States, because I've gone through Tennessee, Kentucky, and Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
That's as far as I've gone.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been anywhere to the west aside from just cutting through Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
That's just to go to Memphis.
Yeah.
So I really have no experience when it comes to those large towns that is known for in California.
Yeah, it's a very interesting.
So now we're going to move on to the characters and performances.
Yay!
Which is probably Bailey's favorite part, honestly.
Yay!
How did the assembled cast perform, and which character or performance stood out the most to you?
Well, why do you have to ask that question? You already know. Pedro Pascal!
I was going to say, when I started asking the question, that's when I realized, wait, why am I even asking this to begin with?
No, but for real, all of the people did really well with their characters, in my opinion. I especially loved the Lucid and... I can't remember her name. I've watched this movie 4 times. But again, I'm terrible with names. But the first two, I guess I'll call them a couple because they kiss at the end of their chapter.
Yeah.
But I did love those characters. They seemed to click really well, and their chemistry was really, really good as well. I loved them very much. 2 girls, I liked the sisterly bond that they had. The fact that they could stand up for each other and then encourage each other is also really, really nice. As for Pedro's character, that's a whole can of worms.
Yeah.
Because his character's kind of, I believe complex is the word I would use. Because the guy loses his wife, thinks he loses his baby, then stands up to his boss saying that he has nothing left, but then it's like, oh, wait, your baby's alive. And so...
That's very true.
It's like, then he has that realization, I do have something to live for, and I do have something to fight for, and I intend to fight for that. And so that's kind of like his underdog story, because he is one of the underdogs.
True. That's very true.
Of the story. And so that's one of his ways that he rises up, is his daughter. And then you, of course, you have Sleepy Floyd, who ends up losing his girlfriend, and then his mom is hospitalized along with his brother.
Yeah,
his brother.
He was put in a coma from it.
Yeah, Yeah, and so he then has to deal with the grief of losing his girlfriend, and then also dealing with his mother and brother in the hospital, which, of course, the death of his girlfriend did not sit well with him, obviously.
I don't think it would anyone, really. Especially at the fact that you're you're playing at a basketball game,
mm-hmm.
and then you come home to just a crime scene at your own house,
Yeah.
and you find out it's your brother, mother, and your girlfriend just in a horrific setting.
Yeah. So, and then it shows how all of the stories come together, and I absolutely love that. Because the couple ends up telling Sleepy, hey, we know who killed your girlfriend, this is who, and this is their address. And then that connects that first chapter. And then, of course, with the second chapter, Sleepy pays for the two girls' burgers and stuff because they were hanging out at the burger joint before Sleepy had went home to find the murder scene. And then after Sleepy had gotten finished tearing down all of the Nazis and exploding the guy's head, Pedro's character then comes out on top with a tomahawk and his baby girl in his arms.
Which I kind of find that funny, honestly.
He's such a girl dad.
No, it's more so just the fact that he just walks out with the axe, and it makes it look like he had done the whole thing.
And then the son of the guy comes back and he's just like, what happened here? Well, your daddy must messed with the wrong warrior. But that could be taken in two different ways, because Pedro could have been the warrior that he's referring to, or he could be referring to Sleepy Floyd, which a lot of people have taken it either way.
Yeah.
But of course, I make the connection like, oh, Sleepy Floyd, he plays for the Warriors, that's how I connect it.
Yeah.
But I think it's also cool that Pedro could also be referred to as the warrior that he's referring to.
Yeah.
Because he really looks like one at the end there.
True.
He has a freaking tomahawk in his hand and a baby in the other.
Grant, I still don't understand the logic of most of the goons that were in there. Why did none of them have a gun on them whatsoever? Why did they only use knives?
It could have been a rule that they had.
Maybe, but then again, why was the only person with a gun basically the cop?
Yeah.
And he pulls out a sawed-off shotgun to do that.
The character's actually called the guy.
Is he just called the guy?
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Did you not hear Pedro? Did you not listen to Pedro Pascal? Did you not listen to him?
It's more so the fact that I thought it was just a way to keep the dude anonymous until you got to the fort.
No, he's actually called the guy.
Actually showing him as the person, but I didn't realize that was actually what the dude's name was.
Yeah,
the guy.
We actually don't know his actual name. He's just referred to as the guy.
I guarantee if we look up at what the cast name for him is, I guarantee we probably will find it.
No, it'll say the guy at the bottom.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Grant, we didn't pay attention to the credits.
No, we didn't. We kind of stopped so we could eat supper, but
and also to figure out who his actor was, which is ironic enough, Centro from
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One, and I think I said his name right. Centro?
I don't know. I haven't watched that one.
Sinestro, my bad. Sinestro,
yeah. And he was also in Captain Marvel, which I was like, how was he in Captain Marvel? I didn't know. He could have played a Skrull, for all I know. I don't know.
Played a squirrel.
A Skrull, not a squirrel.
Oh.
Skrull.
Oh. Well, you gotta take into account.
The green alien thing.
You gotta take into account. I haven't watched that film
I know
yet.
you haven't. We're working on that.
I will say, and I will mention this, I've not seen a lot of the Marvel movies. Bailey is grinding my gear about that.
Yes, I am, because I'm gonna force him.
Yeah, the most I've seen is literally the
Spider-Man movies.
Well, all three Iron Mans, the Tobey Maguire movies, Andrew Garfield's, and Tom's, and that's it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot. Aside from Endgame and Infinity War, I've seen those. But other than that, I've not seen any of them aside from.
You were probably so confused, you poor child.
The very original Hulk. I've seen that one.
Yeah, the 2003 version.
Yeah, the original Hulk. So I've seen that one along with the original Fantastic Four.
Yeah, which is Fox movies, not Sony movies.
Which is not Sony, but Fox. But I've watched
I messed that up in the first episode.
Yeah.
I kept saying Sony because I had Tom
Sony.
Holland on the brain.
But yeah, I've not seen a lot of the Marvel movies. Grant, I've not watched a lot of movies in general.
Well, you better be watching them because Thunderbolts comes out this week. As of
Crap.
recording this, and then Fantastic Four comes out in July, and you know I'm gonna be eating that up.
Yeah, I'm not going to hear the end of that one.
Nope. But then again, you don't have to watch anything to watch the Fantastic Four though, because it's its own separate story.
That's very true because it's basing somewhat on the comic, but it's not directly.
Yeah, because it's its own separate thing. But anyway,
Just now realizing you intended for me to do this part, didn't you? What do you think of Pedro's performance, and how did he handle his character in the story, Bailey?
to be fair, I did not know that question was in there.
I will clarify, everyone. She had asked me before if I wanted to ask the questions this time. I'm now seeing why. It's because of this question right here.
Wait, what was the question again?
What did you think of Pedro Pascal's performance? How did he handle his character's role in the story?
Beautifully.
You now understand why I'm asking the questions for this movie instead of her, unlike the Black to the Future.
Black to the Future.
That'd be honestly an interesting movie. That'd be actually pretty funny.
It would be.
I wonder if that's a parody of it.
Be a parody.
That's the old parody movies where it's just a nothing but a comedy. It's like a scary movie.
Or what's the one for Star Wars? Spaceballs.
Yes. I'm surrounded by assholes. I swear that movie is way too funny. That's a perfect parody.
But to answer your question, Pedro, which I think he's a great actor to begin with. People think otherwise, especially right now.
I think it's because of how many movies he's appearing in lately.
Yes, it
seems like they're trying to basically drench him dry of roles.
Oh, well, he is 50, so...
I get that, but at the same time, let the man have a break.
He doesn't want a break. He keeps saying yes. He just keeps saying yes. He doesn't turn down anything.
But it's like, it feels like we're going to have an instance of Michael J. Fox where he's going to have to be doing 3 or 4 separate movies at the same exact time.
Yeah.
Because Michael had to do that for Family Ties and Back to the Future for the very first one. He had to do Family Ties on the day, but Back to the Future at night. Mm-hmm. So maybe Pedro's going to be taking a page of his book, but just without the Parkinson's.
Just without the Parkinson's.
Who knows? So. He might develop Parkinson's because of this.
I hope not.
We never know.
Bless your heart, Pedro. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't hurt yourself anymore.
Freddy is judging and behind you.
Oh, well, Freddy can go somewhere else.
I'm lightheaded.
It's just because it's a little hot in here.
Yeah, I will say we had the...
That's what you get for talking about Pedro in front of me. I get really hot.
I will say we had the vents open because I forgot one that was left open, but the other one was left closed. So we have both of them open. Granted, the room is not that big, and yet there's only 2 of us. So it might cool down.
But I can feel the air, though.
We can feel the air, but it's being quickly dispersed because of a body heat.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But back to the question.
But, no, to go back to Pedro's performance, his performance in this movie is what I expected from him, pretty much. He brings a certain... Charm, yeah. Certain charm to it. Because in an interview, I'm pretty sure he's the one that said this. In an interview, he was like, I didn't think I was going to be this badass to play this character, but then the director was like, no, you are badass enough. And I thank the director for telling him that. Because Pedro, have you seen the characters you play, dude? Have you seen the characters you play? What do you mean you're not a badass enough, dude? Like, seriously. Not badass enough. God. Nah.
I'm already dying laughing.
Like, dude, you are badass enough in my book. If anybody says otherwise, send them my way. I'll hit them with my shovel. But anyway.
What shovel? You gonna be taking the one that's sat in the back of my truck?
Yes. Just yes.
That's a rusted shovel to begin with, and not to mention the
No, I'll
broken.
get Din Djarin's Darksaber. it's slice them into pieces.
All right, next question. Did the late Angus Cloud's performance add depth to the film, and how did this performance influence the tone of the film?
Okay, so I will say this. This is the first time I've ever seen Angus Cloud's work. I honestly think he did an amazing job in this film. Rest in peace. A lot of people know him from Euphoria, the show Euphoria. Because I remember when he had sadly passed away and everybody was talking about it, and I was just like, dang. Because he was the same age as I am now when he died.
Oh, wow.
He was only 25 years old. So at the time when he died, he was only maybe 2 or 3 years older than me at the time. So being able to see him in this movie and experience his work is awesome. He did amazing. I think he had a certain charm with his character as well that he brought to the table, and he did it really well. He did an absolutely amazing job.
You can tell the stark contrast between commentary, honestly.
Yeah, because obviously Dylan doesn't know what he's talking about, and then I'm over here who has watched the movie 4 times.
Well, more so the fact that when it comes to fluid, also commentary,
Fluidity.
back to the what next question and all that stuff. Yeah, I ain't got jack. Where's my whiskey? But next question is for the surreal elements in this film, and this one is for how did the surreal elements like the green glow contribute to the overall atmosphere of the film?
It definitely made it feel like an 80s movie. That's what it felt like to me. It felt like a traditional 80s movie, which I think that's what they were really trying to go for. Especially since it takes place in 1987. It definitely had the 80s feel, the 80s vibe. It felt very nostalgic to me in a weird way, even though I was born like well after the 80s. It just felt very nostalgic to me, and they did a very good job of bringing that to light.
I can agree, honestly, because it definitely felt like an old 80s movie. Mm-hmm. And it actually felt somewhat nostalgic. Mm-hmm. Granted, I've watched more 80 movies than I have.
Just watch it a few more times. You'll get it.
Granted, you're also, because of the fact that it's being set in the 80s, it's very fitting since the fact that I've grown up watching a bunch of 80 films like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday 13th, Scream. Mm-hmm. Was Scream 80s?
I think Scream was... Yeah, it had to have been like maybe late 80s or
late
90s.
Early 90s is what I was thinking. Because they're both made by Wes Craven.
Yeah.
So it's like, which I couldn't remember when Scream came out. Mm-hmm. But those movies I've grown up on, and granted, it took me forever to actually watch Nightmare on Elm Street specifically. Yeah. The first time I was introduced to the character of Freddy Krueger was Freddy vs. Jason. And then, because I've grown up mainly watching Friday the 13th and Scream, those are 2 movies I've grown accustomed to. So Nightmare on Elm Street was kind of a shell shock of what a slasher film could be. Yeah. So I think it definitely fit well with the 80s aesthetic for this film, too. It definitely fit right in just along next to Friday 13th and them.
Especially with like the costume design as well.
Oh yeah, they definitely gave us the 80s.
It fit very well, and I'm just very impressed with this film just in general. Especially how well they stuck to the design of the 80s. Even with the background and everything, along with the certain cars, certain shops that they shown. The had, and the diner or restaurant that they were in, like it all had the 80s vibe, and I loved every bit of it.
That was definitely a throwback, throwing in the rental shop.
The video shop, yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely a throwback, especially since there's no more Blockbusters anymore.
Well, there is one.
There's one. And it's the last living one. But it's too far away.
Yep, it's too far.
I can't think of where it's at.
I think it's in Indiana?
It might be. It's the last known Blockbuster that's still open to this day.
Maybe. I might be thinking of the wrong state.
Maybe. I'm more shocked the fact that it survived for this long.
Well, it's like, they're like, oh, we'll preserve this. So it's not just a Blockbuster where you can still rent movies and stuff. It's like a museum for Blockbuster, too. So it's not just a Blockbuster. It's a Blockbuster museum.
Gotcha. Okay. Now on to the next question is did the exaggerated violence and stylized visuals add to the enjoyment of the movie, or did it feel a little over the top?
For me, it was very enjoyable. I was laughing and cheering them on like I was a cheerleader on the sidelines. It was very entertaining for me personally. I enjoyed watching that kind of stuff. It was very fun for me. Maybe I have a screw loose. I don't know.
Grant, I didn't like the first one because of the way they did the blood.
Yeah.
Because it felt like they only did that only for that first part, and it didn't fit well with what's actually going on.
The first chapter kind of grew on me with that.
I guess it's for more rewatches of it. It grows on you. It's just, for me, it felt way too out of place, especially with the fact that it was, you could tell painfully it was fake.
Yeah.
Like it was, because it looked like it was added in last minute.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have enough blood coming out for that scene specifically.
Yeah.
Because probably they had used it all for the last part. Mm-hmm. But it's like it didn't fit perfectly. Mm-hmm. But after that, then all the style of visual effects and everything fit perfectly.
Oh yeah, it did.
It's just that it stood out the most in that first one. Mm-hmm. All right, but now they feel over the top though.
Did it feel over the top? I mean, for the first chapter specifically, yeah. And then I do feel like the blood was a bit over the top for that. And then of course I feel like Sleepy Floyd's section, I felt like that was a bit much too, but you know.
That's a lot of bodies.
Yeah, it was a lot of bodies. But I kind of understand why it was, because he was externalizing his rage.
Yeah.
So at the same time, it kind of worked. So at the same time, it works. But for me, I was just like, that's a lot of people to kill off.
Yeah, that's a crap ton. Especially with the fact that he was just doing it so easily. Like it was just the...
it was second nature. Like he had done it before.
Yeah. All right. So now we're gonna be moving on to the music and soundtrack.
Okay. Now this is where I'm gonna flourish.
Yep. So you're only expecting a lot more rants with this one.
Okay.
Well, more like sentences.
Yeah.
Ongoing sentences, really. How did the punk style rock? I can dang speak. How did the punk rock and hip hop elements influence the film's mood and style?
It definitely influenced it quite a bit. It kind of set up the vibe for each chapter, because each chapter had its own like music theme. So like the first chapter had its like punk rock, its hip hop kind of, more so punk rock actually. Never mind.
Yeah, it was more so punk rock than anything.
It was punk rock for the first chapter, and then it was like hip-hop rap for the second chapter. Third chapter didn't really have a whole lot.
It more so didn't kick in until the very end of that one, when Pedro went to drive off. Yeah. But it was very short.
Yeah. So there wasn't really a whole lot of music in chapter 3 for Pedro's character, but in chapter 4 you have Metallica, and then you have I guess that would be considered hip hop for the second song, because there's 3 different songs that played during that sequence of Sleepy just going to town. Yeah, just murdering those guys. But the music I adore so much. I actually have the playlist saved on my Spotify.
Nice.
But the music is just really, really good for this movie. It's a very good listen. I will say that.
Gotcha. But did the soundtrack enhance the storytelling, and were there any standout songs or tracks for the soundtrack?
Honestly, for the first chapter, the first song that they sing, I actually learned very quickly, and I liked very quickly.
I can confirm this because she was singing along with them in the first part.
I very much was. But, which, funny enough, I had knew some of this. I knew, like, maybe one song, and that was the Metallica song that played. I knew that one, but all the other music was completely new to me. But I enjoyed it very much. It just enhanced the experience for me, because everything in the movie was completely new to me, and that I think that's why I like it so much, because it's so different from what I have seen throughout my whole life.
That's true.
It's just so different. It's something that just breaks up that monotony, you know?
Yeah. Let's see, and how did the film's music reflect the 1980s culture with the characters' experiences?
That's a really good question, and that's a very loaded question. I'm not even sure where to start with that, honestly.
This is a very well done question.
This is a very well done question because it's like the music plays a very big part in the movie. And of course, the punk rock plays a big part in the first chapter to kind of set the tone for who that big group of people are and who they are, what they stand for, you know, that sort of thing. And then you have the two girls who are battling out with Too Short, and then you have Clint, or Pedro, and then you have Sleepy. Which I will say, each character had their own genre of music to go along with them.
Yeah.
And that really enhances who they are as a character, I will say.
Next, we'll be moving on to the humor and tone of the movie.
Yay!
How did the film blend humor with the darker themes like crime and violence?
It did it very well.
Or should I say the blend humor with the darker themes like the Nazis?
Yeah.
That was really the only crime and violence is just the fact that it was Nazis, and that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, because that's really the only crime you do see. Well, actually, no, because Pedro's wife did get murdered.
That's true. Outside of that, that's really all you see. It's just the fact that it
Nazis
goes right back to them, which I think is kind of an interesting thing to do nowadays, because a lot of people wouldn't really have the guts to do something like that, which I think is pretty cool. Now, the interesting question.
What's the interesting question?
Did Tom Hanks' cameo as a video store clerk add the right touch of humor, or did it feel out of place?
Absolutely. Tom Hanks is a legend. You cannot tell me otherwise. Grew up with the man through Toy Story. You can't, this man, in Forrest Gump, can't forget Forrest Gump either.
That's true.
And then, of course, the Green Mile. This man... Tom Hanks is just a legend in general, and he definitely made that scene very funny, especially with Pedro's facial expressions.
That was very funny.
It was very, very funny. They had a very good dynamic, and I loved it very, very much. He definitely brought a good thing to the story.
Yeah, I do agree, honestly, especially with what all films he has been in. So it's very interesting to see him.
It was a good thing. It was a good thing to have something familiar in the movie as well, because, as I said, all of this is new to me, so having something that's familiar is also really cool.
Especially seeing the fact that he was only there for a short time.
Yeah, he was only there for, that scene.
Yeah, and then the next scene, he's completely gone.
Yeah.
But then again, we only see him back in the credits after that.
Yeah.
He never shows up ever again in the movie. Was the overall tone consistent, or did it shift too much between moments of intense drama and lighter humor?
I feel like it kind of flowed I want to say a roller coaster, but I want to say it flowed like a river.
It definitely felt like a roller coaster, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it had moments of lightheartedness, and all of a sudden, back to serious, back to lighthearted, back to darker.
But it was spaced out enough to where it wasn't jarring you at all.
It wasn't like most roller coasters where it immediately goes straight down and then right back up. Yeah. It had at least a straight down and then a straight path before going right back up again. So it definitely handled it very well, too.
Yeah, I agree.
And for the visual style and cinematography, since this is Bailey's strong suit here, how did the film's visual style reflect the 1980s setting, and did the cinematography feel nostalgic or fresh?
Definitely nostalgic for me, mainly because in the first chapter they used the box aspect ratio, which we've talked about, which gave it a home video vibe. Yeah. Especially when the camera was going through the crowd in the, I'm not really sure what you would call that place.
Honestly, I was just going to call it a mosh pit.
Or, yeah, wherever it is that they are. The camera guy actually ends up falling over.
Yeah, and dropping the camera.
And so he has to get back up. So it was like a home video vibe, which was very nostalgic for me. And then I liked the little drawings added to it as well. I thought that was a really cool thing, too. And then you go forward, and you have the two girls who are wearing all this neon, which is very 80s.
That was very stark
80s.
contrast, especially with the darker setting around it. Or, like, darker lighting, my bad,
Yeah.
not darker setting.
Yeah, which that's the way the 80s was, is wearing bright colors, you know, being all hip and stuff.
Surprised none of them were wearing, like, the fuzzy, like, boots or anything like they used to do.
Ankle warmers.
Yeah, the fuzzy ankle warmers and stuff, but it's like, you expect that because it is the 80s.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting how they did everything. But were there any standout scenes that you found visually striking or memorable?
That's a really good question, because there's so much. I did enjoy the scene where Pedro walks out with the hand axe and the baby in his other arm. I feel like that's like a good, strong ending for his character, and I'm honestly glad it was a sort of happy ending, because his characters never have a sort of happy ending.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot. His
He
characters
likes to
always
die.
get screwed over.
He's even said that. He likes to die. He has said that in an interview. It's
feel
not
like
me saying that.
I feel like
He
this
actually has said this.
I feel like that's because when he knows the character dies, then that means he no longer has to
Oh,
act
no,
in
he
that.
does it on purpose.
Oh.
He does it on purpose. He's like, the director tells him, oh, they're gonna die. Pedro's like, sign me up. Same thing for if it's a girl dad.
True.
But yeah, it's that scene, and then I liked the scene of him and his wife in the car. I thought that was a really adorable moment. And then, of course, him and Tom Hanks in the movie.
That was funny.
Which that's fun fact. That's also Pedro's favorite set from the movie too.
Oh, that's cool.
Is the video store, and I agree, it's a very good set, and I liked that scene a lot. I also liked the bathroom scene with the couple. I thought that was adorable as well.
Oh, I was trying to think of bathroom scene, but then I remember.
Yeah, after they got beat up.
got beat up by the Nazis.
Yeah.
All right. And how did the use of lighting, color, and visual effects enhance the atmosphere of the film?
That's actually a very good question, because I was wondering about that today, actually, thinking about it. And I would say it works out very well, because specifically in chapter 2, you have like all of this dark contrasting stuff, and then you have these two girls that are standing out in the neon, which you pointed out. Like, they just stand out like a sore thumb. And so, yeah, it's... I would say the light, and then of course you have the fight scene between the Nazis and the other group. I'm not really sure what to call them. I'm not really sure what to call that group of them.
I don't know, honestly, and I don't
it's
know.
Just the crew. I'll just call them the crew. The crew.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's just call them the crew.
And of course you had the contrast of stuff with their outfits compared to the Nazis. And then I of course also pointed out that all of the Nazis were white, bald-headed men.
I'm not even going to say the word because, honestly, I don't know if it counts as anything.
I don't think it does.
Skinheads?
Skinheads? I don't think that
I don't
counts as
know,
anything.
honestly. And nowadays, I don't know what counts as stuff anymore.
You never know anymore. These days. Anyway. But you also had that contrast as well, between their outfits and then theirs. It's like, you could easily pick them apart.
Yeah. Let's see. And I think this is also a very good question because of the fact that the movie has gotten screwed over. And do you think Freaky Tales will become a cult classic like other films from the B-movie genre it draws inspiration from?
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to say no.
As I say, especially
I don't
with the
think
fact
it'll
that
be
it's
a
got
cult
screwed
classic.
over.
I don't think it'll be a cult classic, but it is... I would say it is good to at least watch once.
Agreed.
Even though I've watched it 4 times.
Great, it's because Pedro's in it, but also because no theater has played this movie.
No, there are theaters that have played it.
Well,
It's
near
just
us.
select theaters played it.
That's also what I'm getting at, is that a lot of theaters aren't playing this film.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it kind of hurts the film in the process.
It does. Mm-hmm.
So, cult classic, I can agree that it might not make it as a cult classic.
Mm-mm.
But who knows? Maybe when it comes to streaming services fully, like in more than just YouTube, maybe it will become a cult classic. We don't know.
Maybe.
Granted, this is still...
Prove us wrong, guys.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is being recorded on April 30th right now. And it released on April 4th.
Oh, wow, it is the 30th.
Yeah. So
Then again, it's like 38 minutes past midnight.
Yeah.
So technically the 29th.
technically 29. So we don't know what the future holds for this film or how it's going to really affect the way our movies are done.
But
So we don't know.
But it is a very good watch, and I highly recommend it.
Let's see. And how does the film compare to other genre blending films? Does it offer something unique or no?
I would definitely say it's a unique film. I would say it's unique
I will agree.
with the way it does the blending between the 4 different stories. I would say it's a very unique storytelling.
Especially how you don't see the way of filming anymore.
No, this is the first time I've ever seen a film like this.
Yeah, I can agree because I think the only thing closest to that I've seen is the old cartoons that we used to grow up with, and specifically Billy and Mandy, the Halloween special.
Yeah.
Because that also had branching stories from different perspectives and everything, and all congregate into one. But after that, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I don't think I've never watched anything like this before. So it's definitely eye-opening for me, and it's definitely an interesting experience for me.
Granted, it's also a struggle to try and do this too.
Yeah.
Because you gotta try to be creative with 4 different things if you want to do 4 different things. But you'll have to at least do 3 separate stories in this entire film for all of them to combine into one.
Absolutely.
So that's very hard.
It is. It's very, very difficult.
Yeah, let's see. What impact do you think this movie could have on future indie films or genre mashups?
I would say it would have a very good impact on the indie genre, which indie films don't get a lot of credit because of these big blockbuster films taking up all the spotlight, which is why this film was only played in select theaters, because it's not a big blockbuster movie that a lot of people want to see.
Yeah.
But I do have high hopes for this. I do have high hopes for it. I do think that it's a very good... I don't know where I'm
Unscripted.
Unscripted.
Where we lose our train of thoughts 90% of the time because we get caught off by actually good questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think it will be like a staple in the genre, maybe.
Yeah.
As time goes on, I do believe it might become a staple.
I agree. For our final thoughts on this film.
Yay!
How would you rate it out of 10, and was it a satisfying watch or did it fall short of expectations?
I would give it... I'm not going to give it a 10. Don't worry. I would give it a solid 8 out of 10 for me.
Honestly, I give it I'm torn between a 7 or 8. Honestly, for me. And granted, this is the first time I've watched the film. Bailey's watched it 4 times, so she has more of a constructive criticism on the film and rating, while I'm only going off the very first time I've watched it.
Right.
But I think it's a good 7 or 8 out of 10 film, honestly, in my opinion.
I agree.
It does a very good job at telling a story along with combining the 4 stories it tries to tell into one.
Definitely met my expectations after waiting so long to watch it.
Yeah.
It definitely did that for me. And so I'm very happy with how the movie turned out, and I hope that it just continues to be an amazing film as it goes forward.
Yeah. Now, would you recommend the film to someone else, and who do you think will enjoy it the most?
Absolutely. I've recommended it to not just you, but I've recommended it to some friends of ours.
Yeah.
I can't recommend this movie enough. It was really good.
Yeah. It was very good, honestly. To be fair, I had nothing to expect anything from it because I had 0 expectations to begin with because I'd never heard the film. I only know it because of Bailey. I've never even seen the trailer of this film.
He hadn't seen anything, and I was like, good, I want you to go in blind.
Yeah, so I went literally completely blind into this movie, and honestly, I did really enjoy it. So it's a very good watch, and honestly, I will agree to recommend it to a lot more people too.
That's all for today's episode of Popcorn Unscripted.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
If you enjoyed the conversation, be sure to follow us on Twitter at PopUnscripted.
And let us know your thoughts or any suggestions for future episodes. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future episodes.
And if you'd like to support the show, check out our donation page.
Your support means a lot and it helps keep the conversation going. Until next time. Keep your popcorn close.
And your movie critiques closer.
Thanks for listening to Popcorn Unscripted.